Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How you guys doing tonight? This is Tuesday, isn't it? And I have to check here just a second. Seriously. Oh, yep. Okay, Tuesday, July 26, 2022. Good morning, Dick, Mike, Ron, Thomas, Gregor, Ed. How are you guys doing? John, how's everybody doing in your parts of the world? You know, it is kind of cool that we've got people here all over the world. Different times at a day, there, maybe a ton of people from all over the world. Good morning, Phil, Scott. How you guys doing? Okay, so we have a problem. I think we have a problem, and we'll just see if today fixes that problem, and then we have a problem tomorrow too. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, we get a little bit of Fed business tomorrow. That's always problematic. That's just the way it is. It just is. So the problem today is last night, Walmart, among other retailers, kind of swung the bat, missed the ball, and I'm afraid it hit some spectators in the head. And there's gonna be a problem here, I think. So we need to be very, very careful. Last night I put out a video because of this on some shorts. Also, something that I want to share with you that's really kind of cool. If you did not know this, if you did know this, then you knew more than I did. Now I kind of recalled a little bit, and I had to give Ed a call last night and said, Ed, help me with my brain here. I kind of recall that somewhere along the scanner you put in a retail sector way to look at the retail sector. So he showed me how to do it, and that's how I came up with some stocks. But it's really, really simple. I'm just going to go over this just really quick, okay? Just you want to look for sector. Doggone it, I have a frog in my throat. And you just click on this and you've got different sectors here. So I just clicked on the retail trade. I asked for some minimum volume, and I came up with 76 charts that fit the bill. And that's what I want to talk about for this morning. It is cool. We'll talk about it more in the room, Mike. It is really cool. So what we're going to look at is, for the most part, shorts today. If I see something pop up live pre-market on the scanner, we might talk about that. But let's look at charts. We look at longs all the time. I think we need to beef up the short list. I think we have a problem. So let's start with XRT, the retail ETF. And you can see, we don't need any lines. We don't need no stinking lines up there. So here we are. We came back up through the 50 period moving average right here. This is the 50. And that's great, okay? Bulls, let's throw a party, at least a little party. And it was a very short-lived little party. And then all of a sudden, here we're back below that 50 period moving average as of yesterday. This dotted line here is the 1,000 period moving average. We've talked about it quite a bit on the SPY over the past few weeks. It looks like we're opening up with a little doji down here. We start sliding down too much. Take a look at the weekly chart. You can see that we're right here at that 200 period moving average, and there's not a bull in sight. There's no beef in sight, none whatsoever. So we could easily slip to the downside on that, and that's not going to be good for the overall market. This is the 500 period moving average here, and you're looking at about 20% to the downside. Okay, BBBY, here's the daily chart, and we're failing that 50 period moving average. See, if for those that were at the rounded bottom breakout class, some of this is going to make sense to you the last couple of days. If you haven't been, some of this might not make sense to you. So you can see up we go. We're in that rounded bottom breakout now. Remember, we talked about shorting while we're in the rounded bottom breakout setup, and here we are coming down. So take a look at that BBBY. We're down through the 50 period moving average. This is no longer an RBB, but we can trade it from the failure of that RBB. So here we are, a little bearish Haromi pre-market here. We start to sink a little bit more. Check out the weekly chart, and there's nothing about this weekly chart that suggests there's a steak in the house. There's no steak here. There's no beef. There's none. It's nothing but Beyond Meat. It's fake beef. And right here's the 1,000 period moving average, and that's the 500. Starbucks. Starbucks is an interesting one because it sort of maybe, sort of no. So overall, Starbucks is still bullish here. Now, I think Starbucks is in a little bit of trouble the last 3 days. Notice how it hit the dotted deuce up here. You RB beers, you check that out. See that? Well, we go look at that weekly chart, and if we fail the T-line on the weekly, down goes Starbucks. That's what I would look at. So let's put a line about right there, and pretty much yesterday's low, I guess. Below yesterday's low, down we go. We could stop on that around near close to the 50 SMA, but I don't know. Costco. Look at Costco, you RBBers, right up here at the 200 period moving average, putting in some bearish candles right in here. We've got this evening star. Nice bearish candle yesterday, little weakness here. If we just came back just a little bit, like to the 50, that's an 8%. On a $500 stock, that's a moolah. Take a look at the weekly chart. Whoops, I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. We failed the 50 period moving average on the 50. We have ourselves a blue ice failure. A blue ice failure, if it does truly fail, it leads to the downside. And just to test this low here, whatever, back in May, that's a 23%er. Etsy. Here, we'll just start with the Etsy. Here's the weekly chart. If Etsy comes through, the recent candle, the past weekly candle, take a look at that daily chart. This is where the faster move starts, and we can even take it into intraday. But see the evening star, shooting star up here. We're in that RBB setup. We're moving down. Now, Etsy still has a trend. It's still, it has life yet. It's just on a pullback. If it starts breaking all this supporting area, then Etsy's down. I've got Tesla marked. I actually forgot why. Failure of the dotted deuce right here. It's hard for you to see. I've got it turned down light. Failure of the dotted deuce. So let's keep an eye on that. Here's the weekly. Show me the excitement in the weekly. Where's the excitement? Where's the love? Where's the where's the Wile E. Coyote? The coyote, the napkin, knife and fork. I'm gonna eat him some steak. Where is it? Where is it? I'm not sure it's there. So if we end up failing that 50 period moving average, that's a blue ice failure. Watch the daily. That gives good entries. If we start to fail here, I think we're pretty cool on that one, moving downside. That weekly again. Here's the dotted deuce right here on the weekly. Matches right up with these lows for support. And then this might give us somewhere in the neighborhood of, 50% down. Okay. Dicks. I kind of like Dicks. Take a look at the weekly first. Weekly first, yeah. If we roll up and we end up with that blue ice failure here, then I see us back down here to the 200 period moving average. Here's the daily for the trade. From where we are right now, I see an 8.5% trade. Further down, based on the weekly chart, there's a 40% trade. Chewy. Check out Chewy. Now, I'm already short Chewy. I'm short Chewy because of this candle right here. We talked about this in that RBB class. We're up. We're near the 200 period moving average. The whole man, I want Chewy to pull back so I have a good entry to go long. Well, why not make money on the way down when that's happening? So Chewy's working out pretty good. We're down here to the dotted deuce now, so I'm going to watch that. I'm going to be a little careful. I want to make sure I take some profits. If it remains moving down, I'll continue to hold it. Here's the weekly chart, and if we fail the T-line here, then to me it looks like likely support. Well, here we can move right in here to 28. Let's go back to that daily, and we'll change that. And 62%. Roast. Look at roast here. Roast looks like it's set up for a good short. So we've got an evening star. We've got a rounded bottom breakout. Evening star. Failing the 50 period moving average. Sweet. Let's look for some targets down here. So one target I'll put right here. One target I'll put right in there. So we'll take it all the way down to that last one. Trade in the middle. There's 13%. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. The weekly, we're right at, well, actually this top line here. The top line is right at the 500 period moving average. The bottom line is right here at all these lows. If this thing breaks down, see this low right here? We might want to come down and test that low somewhere. I'm going to go right to there. Let's go back to daily. Let's put our playground up. Now we have a playground of about 30%. Pretty cool. Anyway, let's be very, very careful in this market. Be very careful with your longs. The SPY is still bullish right now. It is, but if it gives way, then we have some room to the downside. Qs, I think the Qs are going to be very important to watch. That is still bullish at the moment based on the chart. If it loses its ground, and there's not a lot of ground here to hang on to, if it loses its ground, down we go. The biggest chart I think that we need to watch is this one right here. If we lose the big boys, we have a problem, and we're right there right now. And lose them means under the 50. That's what I'm looking at. If we roll under that 50 period moving average, I'm afraid we have, well, that problem. And we want to be careful. You don't want to be caught holding the bag of a big bushel of longs if this starts to let go. So anyway, thank you everybody. Thanks for being here. I really, really, really appreciate it to everybody here. And we'll see you guys all in about 25 minutes, okay, when the market opens up. Remember, too, that when the market opens up, the most important thing to do is manage the charts you are in, not chase new trades. Manage the charts you're in. All right, we'll see everybody in about 25 minutes. Thank you so much.